intelligence. Financial intelligence goes beyond your ability to make money or maximize your disposable income. It addresses the issue of understanding the global financial sector and leveraging this intelligence to create good debt cash flow, minimize existing debt financial portfolio, as in financial and equity capital gain. At Global Brand and Marketing, we are truly committed to providing you with a quality content of information that will truly help you to understand the difference between good debt and bad debt, to help you to understand how to reduce your existing debt financial portfolio. So whether you're a big business or a small business, our Velocity banking system will certainly give you the kind of information that will help you to make informed and educated business decision. That hence the importance of financial intelligence. Our program will also show you how to maximize your cash flow and also maximize in equity capital gain. Welcome to another program of Financial Intelligence. In the event that you're joining me for the first time, my name is Gary Thompson. I'm a business development consultant by profession. I'm a humanitarian by nature, and I'm the author of several books, including Billionaire Codes and Self-Application Best Practices. Today's lesson is lesson 4, and today we will be looking at how to invest your resources. And by resources, I mean your human, technical, and financial resources to know about you alone having this intelligence. But we're talking about how do you transform this body of knowledge and these systems to your entire organization so as to help your organization to better serve you in cash flow in 2019. I quickly want to say that our system is not only for big companies, medium-sized or small companies, but it's for the individual who just believe that you want to be successful. So if you're an author and you want to know how to leverage our systems or leverage a system to cash flow significantly, our program will help you. If you're a motivational teacher or a financial coach or a business coach, our systems certainly will help you. Our financial intelligence program will give you the systems that will help you to cash flow. Before I get into today's program, and that is to start looking at how to invest your resources to nurture money magnetic mindset within your organization and among your team players, permit me to give you a hint on a concept that is well documented in my book, Self-Application Best Practices. In my book, I stated that it's important for you to become a proactive leader. And in 2019, I want to encourage you 3 essential characteristics. 1, the proactive leader thinks ahead. 2, the proactive leader sees beyond problem. And 3, the proactive leader takes action to influence desired results in every area of his life. Now, let me explain that a little further. What exactly do I mean when I say the proactive leader thinks ahead? To think ahead simply means that you are applying your creative thinking ability that allows you to develop that strategic plan of action in order to see the beginning, the end, and the in-between of a given process. For example, every professional building contractor doesn't start the building process unless he first of all develop what is known as the builder's plan drawing. Now, what that builder's plan drawing does, it helps the professional building contractor to get a clear mental picture relating to the kind of house or building that has to be built. So by looking at that building plan drawing, you get a clear mental picture as to how that design should look, where windows will be, where doors will be, and all other support and infrastructure to complete that process. So by looking at that builder's plan drawing, the professional builder's contractor knows exactly the beginning of the process, and he knows what is supposed to be the end process. But what is the in between? The in between is the professional building contractor must be careful in selecting the team of people, the right team of people to support the building process. For example, in the in between, you would need carpenters, you would need electrical engineer, you would need laborers, you would need plumbers, you would need the core crop of people to truly help you to complete that task. The question that you must ask yourself, as it relates to your dreams and your hopes and your aspirations, do you have your builder's plan drawing? In the event that you don't, Global Brand and Marketing is here for you to help you develop these systems and apply these systems to your life. The second concept is seeing beyond problems. The world today, we have 7.5 billion people. And I want to believe that most of those people have dreams and hopes and aspirations. But having dreams and hopes and aspirations doesn't mean it's going to be accomplished easily. There will be problems, there will be challenges on the road to realize those dreams. But are you trained? Do you have the competency and the capability to see beyond those problems? And what exactly do I mean when I say see beyond those problems? There's four essential concepts that you must grasp here, or I want you to grasp here, as you attempt to apply our concept of seeing beyond the problems. Concept one is you must know your project. I said at the beginning, you must have your builder's plan drawing. So you must have that builder's plan drawing in front of you. You must have your game plan in front of you. But having your game plan in front of you does not necessarily mean that you know it. You would agree that there's so many people that will see a builder's plan drawing and not necessarily know how to read that builder's plan. The same thing applies. You might have a game plan. You might hear about a game plan, but do you know how to interpret and leverage your game plan? What I'm simply saying also is that you can see this book, but do you know what's written in this book? Are you taking the time out to fully understand what is written in this book? Are you turning the pages in this book to understand what is written in this book? So the first thing you have to put yourself in that position of strength to do is to see this book. Then you have to get some skin in the game and open the book and start to read the book and understand the book. The same principle applies to your life. Develop your vision and commit time to understand the steps that you need to take to realize that vision. From there, you come to step three, and that is to see, to know, to own. When you can see it and you know it, you can better position yourself to own that vision, to own that vision. You see, many of you, you have dreams and hopes and aspirations, but you shift ownership to other people when you play the blame game. You have to position yourself to take ownership for your actions and your inactions. And we will be showing you how to get those concepts when you come into our financial intelligence programs at Global Branding and Marketing. The last concept that I want us to look at here under the proactive leadership is that the proactive leader takes action to influence desired results in every area of his life. Now, let me say this. There's a qualitative difference between taking action and taking informed action. You all would agree that your friends around you, your associates around you, and your neighbors and people all around you, you might be aware that they're taking actions to make great things happen in their lives. But are they achieving desired results? The answer to that very often is no. Why? Because there's a difference between taking action and informed action. When you come into our program, we certainly help you to understand how to master the art of informed action so as to manifest desired results in your life. So I just want you to ponder on this concept, the proactive leader, and do your best to apply it to your life every day so as to create change and desired results in your life. I trust that you enjoyed this little concept. So now let's go straight into today's lesson. Today we'll be looking at how to invest your resources to nurture a money magnetic mindset. And here we're talking about human resources, technical resources, and financial resources. This is no longer about you. The first two lessons that I gave you, we talk about how to invest your time and how to invest your talent. That was about you. Now it's about to invest your resources. And one of the first thing that I want you to consider in investing your resources to cash flow, to maximize your cash flow in 2019, is to build your smart wealth creation team. The first thing that I want you to look at is build your smart wealth creation team. One might want to ask the question, why do I need to build a smart wealth creation team? A simple answer is, with a team, you have greater leverage. And when you come into the program, we will show you how to leverage your team to maximize the growth of your business and the growth of your dreams and your hopes and your aspirations. We will commit that time, talent, and resources to really help you to understand that. Now, again, you get greater leverage. Do you know how to do it? We will show you when you come into our program how to apply these techniques, how to apply these systems to leverage your operation, to leverage your dreams and leverage your hopes and leverage your aspiration, ensure that you maximize cash flow in 2019. The second lesson that I want you to consider here as you set yourself up to invest your resources is build your team as subject matter specialists. Pretty important concept here. You want every one of your team member to become subject matter specialists. So you have to build your team with this in mind. In other words, what I'm saying here, every member of your team must be trained to become the game changers and the dream makers and the trendsetters. And I want you to seriously ask yourself this question. Who in your organization right now are the dream makers, the game changers, and the trendsetters? For you to accomplish this, it simply means that you have to have people in the organization who understand the concept of self-actualization, and we'll talk about that just now, and they are effectively applying it. That means that they have to come to that point where they're experiencing self-actualization. In this part of the world, or to my knowledge, anywhere in the world, the global education system does not teach you how to self-actualize. The global education transfers a body of knowledge to you that enables you, yes, to be smart, but in becoming smart, you go to the workforce and you simply work. But very often we hear that we have a workforce who are not motivated. We have a workforce that is somewhat stressed out. They're not experiencing joy, happiness, and excitement doing what they're doing. Why? Because they have an academic content, and that academic content is not aligned to the individual true self-actualization development process. And these are important concepts that I want you to walk away with. This is one of the things that makes global branding and marketing different, because when we provide you with a content of information, the mission and the objective is to ensure that we achieve desired results. This also, every organization today wants to nurture the high performers. But do you know exactly how to nurture that sustained high performance? We'll talk about that very briefly. So we will certainly be helping you to develop your team as subject matter expert. Every single one of your team member must become subject matter expert. Do you know how to do this? At Global Branding and Marketing, we will commit our time, talent, and resources. We will leave no stone unturned to ensure that you get this body of knowledge. The the third lesson that I want you to get here is build your team as a mastermind team. Build your mastermind team. So the first thing, you build your smart wealth creation team. You ensure that they are subject matter experts. The third step here is to ensure that they are now mastermind. All right. What exactly do I mean by mastermind? You want to train your team members to become global thinkers and social actors and transformational leaders. You want to ensure that your departmental heads, they understand your brand, they understand your services, they understand your product, and they also understand the needs, wants, and expectations of people all across the world, and they can easily apply this knowledge base to help you integrate your brand, your products, your services across region and across world. And in our programs, we really roll out a strong content of program that really help you to understand these new systems that we are talking about. Now, do you know how to achieve exactly what we're talking about here? You don't worry about knowing it because we will commit our time when we come into your organization to really help you to understand how to effectively apply these systems to grow your organization and take it to another level of development. The fourth lesson that I want you to learn here, and I'm going to go a little deep now into this, is human resource needs and the concept of self-actualization. Human resource need and the concept of self-actualization. Now, this again has everything to do with nurturing the sustained high performers. Why do you need to sustain high performance in your organization? If you want to build a business that is competitive and can maintain that competitive advantage, you need the sustained high performers. But do you know how to nurture the sustained high performers? Again, Abraham Maslow is the father of humanistic psychologists, and he introduced to the world many years ago, I think it was 1942, he introduced his thesis, better known as the hierarchy of human needs. And it really laid out a step-by-step approach that can be used to optimize human performance. While I believe that his effort must be complemented, kudos to the great mind, we have recognized some gaps in his thesis, and let me quickly get to the gap that we have recognized. Progressive development within the organization. But when you look at the organization itself is shaped in a pyramid. Now, what that means is at the top of the organization, we have a small number of people. As you come down further, you have a wide cross section of people there. And self-actualization only takes place at the top. So what happened at the bottom? At the bottom, you have people with hopes, dreams and aspiration who never reach that point of self-actualization. In our program, we have designed it in such a way that allows you to create that system, that corporate culture that allows the human resource throughout the organization, at every level of the organization, to reach that point of self-actualization. We have done this research over the last year to 2 year, and we have found some really astonishing information. We have contributed to those exciting information, and we have packaged a unique program that will give your organization the push, the competitive advantage that it needs to compete in a global world of trade. The other thing that I want to say, since we're on this point of self-actualization, the world over, and academic content the world over, tend to run away with the notion that academic excellence is simply based on developing a perfect content. But I want to assure you that it goes beyond just having a unique content. You may have an excellent and unique academic content, but the internalization of that information, the application of those information depends on a qualitative different range of importance. And let me put it this way. The human capital is made up of, or they have biological needs, they have sociological needs, they have physiological needs, they have psychological needs. Yes, they may also have spiritual needs, absolutely important. But you find very often that the academic content doesn't take these issues into consideration. And let me give a quick example why it should. If you are a manager and you're seriously concerned about having the peak performers, the sustained high performers, the game changers, dream makers, and trendsetters in your organization, I want to urge you, in a modern world today, you must take recognition of what I'm saying. At the basic level of human need, water, rest, we have added exercise that leads to good health. But the simple water that you're drinking, do you have any sense of understanding how is it impacting biology and physiology? In most cases, you don't know, but let me give you a quick idea here. Gland. It affects the prefrontal cortex. And what is the prefrontal cortex? The prefrontal cortex is your executive motor skill. And if your executive motor skills is being affected, it's going to affect the entire body. And you cannot have peak performers and sustained high performers where simple things like the water that they are drinking is affecting their biology, is affecting their psychology, is affecting how they socialize, it affects their physiology, it affects how they perform in the organization. And I can look at every single one of the basic needs, every single one, and I can show you when you fail to look at these things, how it affects how the human resource function in the organization. I'm going to give you a quick example at this level also. There is something that we call magnesium. And you get magnesium from the food that we eat. But because of the heavy fertilization in the soil, the fertilization sucks up and reduces the magnesium. So the food itself, the plants themselves, the fruits themselves, does not get to suck up enough of the magnesium. So when you eat these things, you have a deficient amount of magnesium that is coming into your body. Now, what does magnesium do? Magnesium is responsible for over 300 cells in your body. And when those things are affected, it affects you and how you function. So what I'm saying to you, the smart executive, the smart manager, the smart corporate leaders, if it is that you want to position your organization to be competitive in 2019 moving forward, these are things that we want to encourage you to pay close attention to. We have done that research. We have a unique system to provide you with the support that you need in the event that you truly want to take your organization and make it to become a truly competitive organization that truly cares about its human resource development. So much of information that we're going to be giving to you moving forward. Now, secondly, coming down, I want us to look at technical resources and your organization culture. Now, what exactly do I mean by technical resources and your organization culture? Now, technical resource, what it is simply saying is that you need to have a clearly defined system to guide every department of your organization. Do you have this? In your sales and marketing department, do you have a system as to how you build your sales funnel, leverage your sales funnel, and manage your sales funnel? Do you have a clearly developed guideline as to how you manage these systems? In public relation, do you have a clear system in place to build visibility, to enhance the brand reach, to enhance the brand impact, to measure and control the faster rate of the conversion? Do you have a system that leads to building trust and building confidence and building credibility? Do you have the systems, the clearly established technical resources to help you in maximizing on cash flow and customer satisfaction and business growth? In the event that you don't, I want to encourage you to try our systems. These systems are being tested, they have been tested, they are delivering results, and we want to urge you to come and be a part of what we are doing. Now, this concept is relevant even to your human resource department. What systems do you have in place to seriously ensure that you have sustained high performers, not only at the peak of the pyramid, but throughout the entire organization? What is your organization culture and your response to nurturing a culture within the organization that truly speaks to self-actualization throughout the organization. And I believe that this is absolutely necessary. If it is that you want your organization to leapfrog and to be a part of the global trend that is taking place, these are critical area. You must focus on the human resource development. You must focus on that. I know many of you might be saying, okay, we have artificial intelligence that can easily replace the workforce. But with my research and with my intel, you still need the human resources to do so much. And let me put this to you. You can have the best intelligence, all right? The best artificial intelligence to manufacture your products and services. But tell me this, I mean, could those artificial intelligence consume your products? No, they can't. What is likely to happen by the use of the artificial intelligence, you are likely to bring down the cost of productivity. But who's going to consume your productivity? The human capital. Now, if the human capital don't have the disposable income, let me put this to you. Who's going to consume those products? So there is still an absolute need for the human capital. And I think moving forward, we have to put emphasis on helping the human capital to truly self-actualize, where they can make collectively we can make a significant contribution to making our world a better place, and we have the systems to truly help you accomplish that. So let's talk last but not least about financial resources and financial institution. Now, every business needs financial resources. There's something I would normally say, if you're a small business and you're dependent on a bank loan to start your business, depending on the type of business that you have, it simply means that you're not ready for business. You don't want to start your business with a liability. It's absolutely unnecessary, particularly when you understand how to cash flow your organization and get the same capital that you may need to give your business a jump start. My argument to you, my proposition to you is that if you have a business, the business should have a unique brand, or unique services. And if it is indeed unique, and you understand how to leverage the unique selling proposition of your products or your service, and we can help you to upsell it and upscale it by helping you to create a people funnel. That simple system can help you to cash flow, and that cash flow can certainly help you to raise the much needed capital to take your operation to another level of development. And of course, as you grow and you expand and there's a great demand for your product, where you have a greater demand but inability to supply, at this particular stage may be the right time to start looking for the bank loan to move your business forward. The beauty about working with us is that we don't only help you, one, build relationships with financial institution. We will commit that time to help you to develop the right document to make your sales pitch and help in the negotiation process. But what we can do for you also is that very many businesses across the world, when you take out a loan for your business, if that loan is 15 years or 20 years, in most cases you allow the loan to run its life cycle. You allow the debt to run its life cycle because you do not understand something that we call debt reduction strategies. We will show you some of that can perhaps reduce the debt life cycle by half of its life cycle. These are things that we can do leveraging the smart systems that we have developed to work with your business. Now, businesses in the developed world, big businesses, they, yes, while they have strong relationship and good relationship with a financial institution, what they are doing, they are developing things that we call personal banking systems and family banking systems. When you come into our financial literacy program, we will certainly help you to understand how to develop and build and apply these systems so as to minimize something that we call your debt financial portfolio. And once you can minimize your debt financial portfolio, it means you can simply increase your cash flow. So I trust you would have enjoyed today's program. I believe that in most part of the Caribbean, we need something that we call a private sector development banks, and not one, perhaps multiple. And I want to say this that the agenda is not only to have banks that is willing to allocate loans at more friendlier interest rates, but if it's a private sector development bank, the focus cannot only be on just access to funding, because as a consultant and with my experience in working with many businesses, access to finance is not aware at all for those businesses. So a combination of things must come together. Access to finance, access to information, access to machinery to enhance productivity, and the list of things must be appropriately worked out in order to give businesses, especially small businesses, a fighting chance to grow and develop and integrate into global commerce and trade, into international business. So in 2019, we have a tough task ahead of us, and we're going to be advocating more on business development and on resource development in order to plant our little seed in making the world a better place. In closing, do permit me to say again, I want to encourage you to subscribe to this podcast and share this podcast. And because in 2019 and beyond, we want to reach as much people as possible so we can touch and transform the lives of much people as possible. I want to talk a little bit now about the vision behind global branding and marketing. Our mission at Global Branding and Marketing is to position our clients, employees, and strategic partners to understand, create, and leverage passive income cash flow, build multiple streams of income, and leverage smart investment strategies in order to build up generational wealth. Now, there's three reasons why we want to do this. One, we believe that financial intelligence will give your business a fighting chance. It will give your business the competitive advantage. Second, we believe that financial intelligence will position you to build generational wealth. And this is wealth that can live years and years and years long after you would have exited this universe. We will help you to build those systems that allows your positive cash flow, your positive financial portfolio to benefit many of your generations to come. We need to start looking at this, so we will certainly be helping you with this. Last but not least, we believe that financial intelligence can remove financial struggles and the scourge of poverty that we have in the world. In the world today, we have over 50% of the global population that is living in poverty. And we need to speak to this, and we need to, as great minds and innovators, we need to ensure that we can help people in the world. We can help to reduce poverty. And we believe that this content, financial intelligence, is the content that can break the back on poverty and on financial challenges. I trust again you would have enjoyed this podcast. My name is Gary Thompson. I'm a business development consultant by profession. I'm a humanitarian by nature, and I'm the author of several books, including Billionaire Codes and Self Application Best Practices. Do enjoy